Welcome to the ITM podcast.
This is episode 213 of the ITM podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of CLNS Media, brought to you by PrizePicks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network, and by Game Time, the best tickets to buy, the best place to buy tickets online, sports, concerts, really anything, any ticket at an event. If it has tickets, Game Time's got it. Best prices guaranteed. And the Boston Red Sox remain 500. Would you look at that? They won a game. They lost a game. It's what they do. My name is Joey Copponi. That's Scott Neville. Scott, hey.
How you doing?
Doing good, dude. How are you doing?
Yeah. It's not about me.
No, it's absolutely not. Don't ever think that it is. Scott's got terrible internet today, and this is going to be how the show goes. There's going to be a lot of times where I got a monologue because Scott is frozen, and in editing, maybe you guys can hear Scott at the same time, and we're talking over each other. So buckle up, guys. It is a 500 again episode with bad internet and with your DMs. Also, thank you for everybody who hit us with the DMs. We got a bunch before we even put the tweet out from people listening. I'm always curious if people listen to the end of a show, especially because these shows are always like $1:30. I know a lot of podcasts are like 40 minutes. I'm never going to be able to do a 40-minute podcast. I can talk in circles about absolutely nothing. So that was cool. I was like, the last 5 minutes of the show, I wonder if people listen to this part. They do. Turns out people do. People listen all the way through, which is great. So we thank you guys for that. Scott. I don't know where you want to start, but I one thing jumps out to me above others. But if you got something bigger than the Chris Sale standing ovation, please take it away.
I mean, I probably would have gone.
There he goes.
Injury. Fuck.
He's back. Go for it.
I was gonna say probably Jamie Westbrook. That was kind of cool. He got a hit today.
Yeah, first major league hit.
And
Jamie Westbrook
we got a hit
after 7,238 minor league plate appearances, which is a number that I made up, but it's probably high. It's probably around there, or at least the same number of figures. So it's cool. It's cool, but here it's a weird line to walk because Jamie Westbrook, local guy. I think he's from Springfield. Been down there forever. About 10 years in the minors, 11 years in the minors. So it's cool that he made it up. Good for him. That's awesome. Absolutely. Very cool. Also, as a fan, it's kind of like, so we're calling up like career minor leaguers. So it's hard not to be thinking that. I'm trying to just be happy for the guy, and goddamn, he deserves it. Worked his ass off. Most guys would have thrown in the towel, and he didn't. He's a big leaguer for the rest of his life on paper. But as a fan, it's a little, I don't know, hard to get excited. Is that crazy?
I like rooting for guys with funny builds. So you're right, but whatever.
Yeah. No. Good for him. Reached base a handful of times. 4 times? I think it's 4 times. 3 games. So good for him. Chris Sale. Okay. We didn't really talk about Chris Sale in the preview because he wasn't pitching in this series. So
it's a pitching preview.
And it's a pitching preview. Most of the series preview is just a pitching preview. So I didn't talk too much about him, but it's weird because I just had it in my mind that this already happened just because there was already talk about it. So it was almost like I had to be like re-reminded when this started. I was like, oh yeah, this is his return to Fenway, which feels a little odd just because they've already played each other and whatever. That sucked, man. It's hard to want to like accost fans, but what was that? What was that?
Did you see our friend Steve was like fine with it? Like he was like that's what
Yeah,
it should
dude.
be.
I don't
I was
know.
stunned by that.
Steve is making a lot of decisions recently.
Okay. But Jared wasn't cool with it.
Well, you know, Jared uses like his brain cells and stuff.
Oh,
Boom. Gotcha.
you're gonna see
Did
him
you
in like a
also?
week.
Hmm?
You're gonna see him in like a week.
I'm gonna see him in
Both
2
of them.
days, 3 days.
Shoot, that is
It is
so
so
true.
close. Oh, and there goes Scott. Yeah, we're all gonna be at the Bananas game, so I'll run into him there. I would say this to him. I might call him and bring this up. What the banana suit? The banana suit is like we made fun of Kike for 2 fucking years on this program, being like, "Oh, you're the quirky, silly guy because you put on a fucking banana suit." Like how silly, dude. And then he's like tweeting pictures and being like, oh, "Hey guys, I got a banana suit." I want to be like, "What are you doing? Is that not? Did we not make fun of a guy for years for the banana suit?"
Yeah, no, I mean definitely, but he is kind of like the costume guy. I mean, he's the Reese's guy. I don't know. I don't know how that like bit came about, but I don't know how it ended up being
They
Steve.
split the series and stuff. I think it's banana
Well,
splits.
I figured that, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, I didn't. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just never saw the promo or whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was interesting. I never connected the dots with Kike. I was more surprised by the sale thing than that.
The sale thing, I don't understand because like
I feel like he's usually
that
a pro
was
player,
yeah
like very
that, but
pro
also it's
player.
like just on a grander scale, like Steve aside, it's just like I penciled that in as a big standing ovation. I imagine it would
Yeah.
be not quite Mookie, but a similar level, of like a unanimous. We all stand and get on our feet and say thank you to Chris Sale.
Yeah, he didn't feel like a fringe player to me. It'd be one thing if he like left on his own, like, but I don't know. He got traded, like and I know it's the whole he got paid and he underperformed, but it's like he wasn't like a Pablo type. Like he was busting his ass all the time. He couldn't have been more honest about it and upset about it. And, every time he had a bad game, he would be the only one I feel like that would just be like, yeah, I sucked today. And I love that. Like accountability matters. And I don't know what's not to like about Chris Sale. I feel like it's just a misunderstanding. It's just a stupidity, like to not like Chris Sale.
He did everything that you were supposed to do in the situation that he was in the city of Boston. Like if you were to give him a handbook on like this is how you handle it, he did exactly that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm letting my teammates down. I just want to compete. Maybe rushed himself back a little bit. Was so visibly upset with himself when he wasn't able to get out there. And then when he was, like you said, like he would take accountability on days when he sucked and he would say, I sucked. I need to be better than that. He did everything that you're supposed to do when you're hurt and when you're underperforming. And the bigger thing to me in this context is like we don't we don't need to be upset about that anymore. He's gone. It's over. So
Yeah.
watch the highlights from 2018. Watch Vasquez jump into his arm at Dodger Stadium and get on your fucking feet and clap for the guy who wanted nothing more than to be in a Boston Red Sox uniform. I have no idea what was going on there. It was so bad, Scott. Ask me how bad it was.
Joey, how bad was it?
Dave O'Brien brought it up on the broadcast in game 2.
I didn't even, yeah,
Oh,
didn't catch
Scott's
that.
frozen. Or he's stunned. Were you stunned?
Oh, I was trying to talk. I'm stunned.
Yeah. Stunning. For Nesson to bring up, like, basically, like, the fans stinking? Scott?
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up. I feel like he gets a lot of crap shit. Well, I don't know why I say crap. I don't know. I keep trying to censor myself on the show. I know I can swear on it because I own it.
Crap.
Um, but people act like he sucked with all the injuries. Like in the last 4 years, when he had 42 starts. He had 9, 2, 20, and 11. He had a 3.66 ERA in that span. That's a 1.21 ERA plus. And really, of that, like he had a 3.16, a 3.18, a 4.3, and then a 3.06. He was still very good when he was able to come back for like one day. He led the American League in FIP last year. Not that should really count, with a 2.48. He also led in walks per 9, like only 1.3, and strikeouts per walk at 8.2. That
Does
led
he
the
still
American League
have
last year.
Are you on his BREF right now?
Yeah.
Does he still have the gold career K per 9?
No.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's priority number one. I mean, if there's ever a year he was going to do it, it would be this year. Amazing that he maintained that through the years. But like you said, like he wasn't bad when he was here. It's just he was never Chris Sale again, you know?
Okay,
And it was much
I did
more.
do something. I did do something there. I just realized
Well,
I did group in this year. And all of those things I just said he's leading the league and they're this year. That's my fault.
that's
But
okay.
it's still a 1.17 ERA plus instead of a 1.21 in the last 3 years with Boston when he was hurt the whole time. So a point still stands. Stupid, point still stands.
I don't think people were ever upset about his on-field anything. I think every time he came back, people were like, "This could be the year he could be Chris Sale again." He's just got to make more than 12 starts, and he couldn't. Like I think it was way more about
Yeah,
availability than it was about
sure,
performance.
but even we set that up as like when you underperform and when you whatever. Like I know we were talking about specific starts, whatever, but like I feel like people act like there was a decline in production as well as like availability, but it was really just the availability. I mean, he's still like a
Yeah,
3 ERA guy.
yeah, yeah. That is true. But this ovation. Back to the OB thing because there's another point that I want to make here.
Go
So
ahead.
OB brings up a rather lukewarm standing ovation yesterday, and I was stunned because like that's not very Nesson to do
Mm.
that, even the slightest bit, to be anything but milk toast. And um, Will Middlebrooks, I don't know if he is getting a pay bump from Nesson to just be more of a homer honk, but he was like, well, in the people's defense, there were a lot of Braves fans here, which
That's like
I guess at a very thin face value, somebody could go, oh, okay, that makes it better. It doesn't at all. If there's more people from Atlanta in the stands, in Boston, that's not good. That doesn't make it better, man. It sucks no matter what. It just sucks for a different reason. It's like either fans who don't care aren't standing, or fans don't care so much that they aren't showing up, period, and the visiting team is filling the stands. So it didn't make it any better to me whatsoever. I was like, well, that's still shitty for a very similar reason.
also a terrible point because why would the fans of the team he's actively on and dominating for not stand up for him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that doesn't even make sense. Like he's been way better for them than us the last 3 years. He's
I
actually
saw
available.
I saw some people say like some Red Sox fans say like well we didn't know it was coming. Like, yeah, you did. You were at the Braves first game back. Like you should be expecting that, one. And two, it happened in like after the first inning. It was like right there,
Also,
you know?
you don't have to be prepared for something like that.
Yeah, it's true.
You didn't need to bring balloons. You just need to stand. Just ready. Watch. Ready. You tell
Do it.
me. You tell me now at any point.
All right. Now. 1, 2. There's a little bit of a delay. Okay, that was a little short of 2
That was
seconds.
less than 2. That was way less than 2.
That was pretty quick. Okay, so what you're saying is you need less than 2 seconds notice to stand.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
It was also like a minute-long video. You had some time.
Yeah, they had a lot of time. I mean, listen, I love the video production stuff over there. I'm very vocal about that. I love like the pregame, whatever. Interesting music. It was kind of weird. I don't know. I
Also,
guess it's also like
surprised they
how much
played it.
effort are you supposed to put into like a visiting play? You know what I mean? Especially someone like Chris
No.
Sale. It's like it's just like
Yeah, but
another
he won.
same. Yeah, but it's like just another signal of like days gone by and like
Yeah. I'm surprised they played it on Nesson though. Like they didn't go to commercial.
I'm glad they did because I was expecting to have to see like someone's phone video. And so when Nesson
Right.
was like, we're going to stay right here in the park and we're going to watch Chris Sale's tribute video.
Although acknowledge the fact that they did just play it like shot a camera, basically their own phone version instead of just overlaying the video like we do that on this show
Mm-hmm.
better than what they did. Like they could have just played it. Like remember when they brought the 04 team back and they showed the video on the screen, but then they just showed us the video, like
Yep.
actually, instead of just being pointing the camera in center. That was
Yep.
weird. It was under.
Yeah. Well, because the Red Sox make the video, right? Like the Red Sox
Hmm.
makes the video, and Nesson, well, they're owned by,
Right. They own. Yeah, they work together every day.
yeah, and they're upstairs. They're in the same building. They know each other. Yeah, could have happened. I don't know. It was weird. Also
Okay.
weird. This is just nerdy stuff, but I thought it was weird that they were able to film an LED screen and not have any kind
Right.
of reading on the camera. Because I don't know if you guys have ever been to Fenway and you try to take a video of that screen. Look how that comes out on your phone because it's reading across. Your phone's trying to. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to geek out on cameras.
Yeah. Don't.
So that was that. I thought that was just I don't know, a little disheartening, and it was like it was immediately followed by like maybe the worst inning of baseball that we've ever seen, and it was disheartening. I think it made the Chris Sale thing seem worse. I don't know why. In retrospect, it made me more upset about the Chris Sale thing than it did about the second inning being just a bunch of stinky poo poo baseball. But it did. That was. I really thought it was over. I thought there was no chance they were going to come back into that game. I thought that one was just dead over. You have 2 runs score on an infield, just a ground ball.
Yeah. Bad play.
That
One of the worst of the
oh,
year.
oh, horrific.
You know, me and Steve were talking about getting some food. Me and Mott. All right. Okay. You know, people should know when I
Mm,
say Steve. I'll say Peralt. You know, if I mean Peralt,
mhm.
but I don't usually. I know I brought him up earlier, but so me and Mott were thinking about getting food, and the game had already started. And we're like, I don't want to. It's like 10 minutes away. We're gonna miss like a half inning here, and then that play happened, and we both kind of were like, all right, this is who gives it. Like, oh, big whoop. We missed 10 pitches. You know.
Yeah,
Like we were literally like we might just stay in and get like cook hot dogs or something, and then because we make really good food at home, and
right.
then we were like, nah, never mind, it doesn't matter, we can miss an inning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was doing a similar thing where I was like, I'm gonna be in the car, but like I want to wait to like I'll watch this inning first, and then
Mm,
like I'll listen on the radio in the
yeah.
car, and then yeah, that happened. I was like, that's when I tweeted out like, all right, everybody have a great night. Have a
Mm,
great one, everybody. Bobby Dahlbeck wasn't gonna
right
let that
fielder.
happen. Yeah, my right fielder.
We just spent a lot of time talking about how there's 4 first basemen on this team, and now we're seeing one at second
Hmm.
and Dahlbeck in right sometimes.
The team is underperforming. Okay, given all the talent that's in the clubhouse, Scott,
Mm.
and the competitiveness in the clubhouse too, you can't forget about that. Uh, they are underperforming. Did you see Kennedy talking to TC on the pregame about that?
I thought that was old because that sounded like he said the same thing again. I was confused because it felt like the same like thing.
Yeah, no, it was new. It was new because he was addressing those comments. He was actually addressing how he addressed those comments, which is very cool and meta. He said, dude, because Cora was said more. I'm paraphrasing here, but Cora had said something. I was like, Sam says a lot of things. Who
Yeah.
knows if he was, he was talking fast, if he was tired, if he was hungover. Who knows? Uh, and Sam Kennedy felt the need to repeat that entire thing and be like, "Oh, maybe Cora was right. I'm going to take every one of the outs that he gave me. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was hungover, drinking. Anyway, we have higher expectations for this team than 500. Um, And I want it's a weird place and time to do it because like they did just beat the absolute shit out of the Braves in Game 2. First team to shut out the Atlanta Braves since May of 2023. That's an insane stat.
Didn't know that.
That's nuts. So it felt like a weird time to do it. I didn't want to say this after the game on Twitter. I guess I'll say it on here. But Sam Kennedy said, our expectations are for this to be much higher than a 500 team. Why?
That's why I thought it was the same. That's why I thought it was the same thing because he said it was our expectations are above a 500 team, and that makes no sense because that's what you just said, and we're telling you that's stupid, and he just said it again. So I don't think he fixed anything. That's why I thought it was the same quote.
That
I was
makes a ton of
confused why
sense.
Nesson posted it because I was like, this is the same thing. That sounded
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
He didn't
He
say they
basically
were
just
underperforming. He just said they're not overperforming.
they're not performing up to the standards, but I'm not going to say they're underperforming. That's kind of what he did. It didn't make any sense. He just cushioned it a little bit more and was like, I'm not taking a shot at anybody on the team. I'm just saying our expectations are higher than what they're doing. It's like, that's Sam, brother.
Same thing.
Splitting hairs here, brother. Yeah, same thing, brother bear. Anyhow, let's talk to our good friends over at Prize Picks. With Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or pick less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you're locked in. When the finals are over, the hoops action doesn't stop on Prize Picks. Women's basketball is just getting started. With young stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese looking to make names for themselves, alongside greats like Breanna Stewart and Asia Wilson, you could win up to 100 times your cash watching them ball out. Prize Picks is so easy to use, dude, and I gotta be honest, I've kind of been making bank over there. This week on Prize Picks, I'm selecting Caitlin Clark for more than 3.5 3-pointers made and Breanna Stewart for more than 23 points. So download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS for a first match deposit up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Prize Picks. Scott, I got something that I want to say, but I need you to tell me if it's okay to say it.
Okay. How am I going to do that before you say it?
Well, I'll say it to you here, and then if you're like, you don't say that, then I'll like cut it or something, or we won't do it. I don't know. Let me ask
Go
your
ahead.
permission to say it first, and then I'll say it. Let me preface this to you by saying it's coming from a guy who I've dealt with some good anxiety my whole life, especially since like my teenage years.
You look like a guy that had anxiety for sure.
It's the backwards hat and stuff. Yeah, a little angsty.
Yeah, that's
There
the
was like
part.
days I would like stay home from high school because I was like throwing up, just panic attack, just
Really?
boom, you're in it, just bang.
Huh.
Throwing up on dates, done that before. That's always
Oh,
fun. Like
in front of
crippling
them, or do you get to the bathroom?
No, I threw up on myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a story for a closing thought.
Oh,
Wow.
sure. One of these days. Yeah. I also went to a girl's house to pick her up once, and I pulled into her driveway, and she got in the car, and I said, "Give me 1 second." I stepped out of the car and threw up, and then I got back in and was like, "I think you should probably stay here." And then she got out of my car, and I left.
Wow, that much nerves. I started
Mm-hmm.
to get. I've had maybe panic attacks from like stress, but not that bad. And I cut out. I know I cut out there.
Yeah, you did. I was gonna let you go.
I was just gonna say I've had like panic moments like that, from stress, but I've never thrown up or on myself, so it's never been that bad.
So we're both familiar. I used to like
Mm.
take stuff for it, right? Because I had like I can't go anywhere anxiety, and you and we've only been in public places a handful of times, but our good friend Steve Peralta, who we've mentioned a few times, will tell you like the Joe Copponi move is just slip away, just go away. Like if I'm talking to somebody I don't want to talk to, or if I'm getting anxious, I walk away. I'm like, nope. I don't give an explanation. I don't give a like, oh, sorry, give me a sec. I walk away because I'm like, otherwise I'm going to throw up.
Hmm.
So all of that is to say that I am understanding and receptive to what Chris Martin is going through, and wish him the best. And Alex Cora had a great thing about it. I'll get to that after, but however long he takes is however long he takes. And this stuff, it's awesome that stuff comes up and that, guys feel free enough that they can say exactly what's going on and not fight through it or mask it with like drugs and alcohol and hurt themselves long term or whatever. And they can get these things sorted out. It's awesome that like that's the direction that the game is moving. Also, it's very funny that in the span of 24 hours, Wilyer Abreu goes on the IL for falling down the stairs and Chris Martin goes on for having anxiety. I think that's a little silly, is it not? That like those things happen back to back, 1-to-1, that like, boom, your best hitter falls down the stairs and last year's best reliever is having anxiety attacks and can't come.
It was supposed to be the same day, which is maybe even crazier. That might have been the craziest part about it, is that they were like, the league didn't approve it in time. It's like, what? I've never heard that before. What are we talking about? Like, we couldn't make a roster move today? That's impossible? That's a thing that can happen? Yeah, I think, the Willier thing, it was crazy. That one to me is legitimately fun. Like, it's such a funny fall. And then, yeah, as far as Martin goes, maybe not funny at all, but at the same time, it is interesting that like his job is to deal with the highest pressure situations in sports. Like, eighth inning, 1-run lead. Here you go. Probably people on when we're gonna throw you in there.
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, Kenley's talked about it too. Kenley's talked about the mental aspect of the game and
It's
the
huge
struggles
for a
that
reliever.
come in.
Anyone, but really
Yeah.
a reliever.
But I mean, a setup guy and a closer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine, dude. I cannot imagine. Like, I talk to a camera into a microphone for a living. And I know that there's thousands of people who listen and no anxiety about it. Totally fine. I forget that people listen. Sometimes I just feel like me and you are chit chatting
all the time.
But you hand me a mic in front of 10 people, and yeah, I'm going to clam up, dude. I'm going to sweat. I'm probably going to throw up myself. I'm going to bring up puking a lot on this episode because that's what I do. So I get it. Funny's the wrong word. What I mean is like, it's just on brand to be like, two guys hit the IL, one for anxiety, one for falling down the stairs. It's just, I don't know. It's eye grabbing, I guess, is one way to put it.
I would say this: there were so many injuries that were happening, and it was already like, "Come on, this is crazy, this is crazy." And now the way we're getting injured is getting more ludicrous. Like, it's just
There we
like,
go.
what are we like? Okay, now we're falling downstairs. Like, is that really? Now we're not even.
Yeah.
That's two IL stints that have nothing to do with anyone getting hurt on the field. Like,
No.
that's 2 in a row where it's like, that wasn't even baseball. That was just day to day life.
Yeah,
Chris
that
Martin's
doesn't
may have been
count.
caused by baseball, but like, that's not something where he pulled something. Like, these are things where, we got guys tripping out here. Come on, this is crazy.
That's what it is. It's the absurdity and like how ludicrous the ways in which people are hitting the IL is getting just absolutely nuts to look up with like, the most full IL roster of any team, I would assume. And then just the way these additions are happening is just, it's crazy. All that being said, just to be ultra clear here, if you're one of those people who was like, really? We're going on the IL for anxiety now? Is that how soft the game has got? Don't listen to our show. We're not the show for you. I think you're a fucking moron, and I do everything in my power to not reply to every person like that on Twitter. So if your take is get out there and rub some dirt on it, I don't know, rub some dirt on yourself. How about that? Was that a good comeback,
Yeah.
Scott?
No, that's great, Joey.
Thanks, man. Nick Pivetta is doing really well. We're just going to slide past that. David Ortiz in the booth. We talked a little bit about Poppy or about Petey getting in there, being a good fit in there and whatever.
Nope,
And
Pap.
then Poppy.
Talked about Pap.
Pap. We talked about Pap getting in there. Sorry, Pap. And
I got just a mess. Someone just be like, "Hey, that was a really good idea. I'm glad you said that. Let's get that movement going." I was like, "Yeah,
dude,
yeah."
I loved that idea. I think he would be I think he would be great. I mean, I didn't remember who it was when we were just talking about it. I said Pedroia, but yeah, Pap. I still love. We got a taste of Poppy in the booth. Poppy's fun. Poppy's fun. He's like, I don't know. Always a good time. Whenever Poppy does anything, they could bring him around every 3 months, which is exactly what they do. And I'll get excited every time. Doesn't matter. There's no expiration date on
100%.
Love and Poppy.
Yeah, I mean, he's too rich to actually do the booth, which is why, like, it's not even rich. He just won't do it. Like, Papelbon's doing okay as well, and I'd imagine so is, like, Pedro. He loves the media stuff, but just Ortiz isn't going to do the day-to-day. But Papelbon, I think, is
I mean,
realistic.
he does the Fox stuff, or he did the Fox
He
stuff.
does the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying
But
he'll never,
all
like, commit to,
year?
like, a real role. Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Like, he would never work for Nesson, is my point.
No.
Yeah, that's all
No.
I'm saying. I'm saying Papelbon, that's a realistic one. That could be an Eck. I always thought with Eck, I was like, you're in the Hall of Fame. Why are you doing this? But he just like to be there. Papelbon, I'm sure it's just the same thing. He just gets fulfillment out of it.
I'm sure part of it with Eck too was Jerry. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, now
sure that was
Papelbon has Uke.
right. Same thing.
Sometimes.
Other times it's Will.
Other times it's Lou, who we like.
Love Lou. Love Lou. Speaking of Will Middlebrooks, we got some DMs.
I did that. Okay. I'm hoping this is a good segue. I'm going to let you do the segue.
We've got some slide in the DMs. Check that out. I've been wondering all day how I was going to do the while also announcing slide in the DMs. And I think I just found it. I think you just got to do it every time somebody says slide in the DMs, myself included. I just got to do it.
I'm back.
We got Frozen Scott. What's up? Nope, still frozen. Okay, let's get into these DMs. Scott, this one's for you, dude. Both they're for both of us. Are you still here? Are you here yet? Are you back, dude? You're back.
There was a good minute there. There was a good minute there where I was gone.
Yeah, no, I noticed. Yeah, no, you're the only thing on my screen, dude. So I noticed when you're not there. This one comes in from David. Say fucking hi, dude. Oh my God.
Hey, David.
David says, which current or fringe MLB player do you think would be the best banana ball player? For example, I could imagine Michael Chavis taking that road when he's done with his MLB career.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Brock Holt jumps to mind, but it's just Brock Holt. He'd be fantastic.
You know who would either be great or be like detrimental to the whole organization would be Yasiel Puig.
I like that. I like that a lot because he could. I mean, he would add a level of power and like what he would add to them is like a home run that hits the third deck, and that would be. And he would throw people out from 350 feet. That's a better answer, honestly. I'm thinking
it just smacked me right now.
Yeah. Oh, really? You got smacked right there by Puig.
First one ever. First person ever to say that.
Oh.
This one comes in from Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Corey says, slide in the DMs. Big Poppy checking his phone in the booth while Middlebrooks is talking. How relatable. I did not catch that. Of all the things, of all the moments, I'm glad we got that was the segue, by the way, was that DM.
Oh, should have done that one first then.
Yeah. I didn't notice that, but that is awesome. I should have, whatever. I don't know. We have a second DM from Corey from a few weeks ago that says, slide in the DMs, if that's still a thing at all. You notice Will Middlebrooks taking a subtle shot at Xander during the third game of this series? Get off my TV, dog. Listen, Corey, if there's one thing you want to know about Corey, Scott, Corey does not like Will Middlebrooks.
Apparently,
Yeah.
those 2 DMs in a row about it.
Yep. And here's
I
the
would
thing.
like to know what the shot is. I would like to know what the subtle shot is, but I don't remember that.
Probably something about how I don't know how much the Padres are going to miss him anyway. He's not what he used to be, kind of thing. Just because that's what everybody was saying. He probably took the take right off Twitter and copy pasted it into his mouth. As more time goes on, I start to like Will less and less. It's like you put last week, man. It's a television show that we watch for 3 hours a night. That's so much more than any other television show. It's so much more than any other sport. And so when the product on the field isn't entertaining and the production of the game isn't entertaining, yeah, I'm going to start to take it out a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to get a little frustrated with the cast of characters, TV people
I think
included.
I'm like neutral on Will. Like I don't have like a gripe with him. But like I kind of agree, I guess. Like I could see why people would just think of him as kind of like douchey or whatever. I think he's fine, but like I don't know. I do think the stealing tweets thing is like a regular occurrence, as you guys pointed out a lot last year. That's the only thing to me where I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I will say I do tend to subconsciously do that and then almost forget to credit where I'll be like, oh, did you? So I think a plane was on my road a second ago.
Yeah, I think I heard it.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like there is like I could see every once in a while just being like pulling out like oh, did you see that, like Willier's leading the, whatever stat, and then just being like, oh man, I stole that from JP or something. But to do it every day, it's like that's a choice.
I mean, to do it, I don't know. I think it's a little different to be like, oh, I saw this, than it is to just
Oh
say
yeah,
it.
true.
Because like you and I will say like, oh, I saw that he's leading this and whatever, or
True.
even if you don't credit, to just say like I saw it somewhere. I think the difference is like Will presents it as if he's the stat guy, which like a color commentator very well could be. So it's like he's a guy who like should have his own stats and then like says, I don't know, other people's stuff. That's kind of where it comes from for me. And then also just the entertainment thing of like, I don't know. We got another DM here, Scott. Comes in from Cameron.
Hey, Cameron.
Say hello. Jesus Christ. Say hi to the kid.
I'm on an 8-minute delay here. All right.
Yeah, editing this one's going to be fun. Cameron says, yes, let's fucking go. Hello, Joey and Scott. Back with some good old DMs. The Sox are mid, but at least we have players who are fun to watch, i.e. Duran, Rafaela, and Hauk. But I'm here with a more important question. Who is your favorite Jedi or Star Wars character? And what color lightsaber would you have? Anyways, go mid Sox. Scott?
You know what's funny about this question is I had never seen Star Wars until I moved in here like last June. And then Steve also started watching Star Wars at like 24 years old for the first time. And so I wouldn't have been able to answer this question not that long ago. Now I've watched all of them, really like it. I mean, this is lame, but like I'd go Anakin. Like that's the main like arc in the show, and that's
The
so
show.
I feel like whatever. Well, it was
Yeah. It was a bunch of shows. It's been a bunch of shows, but
there is actually now shows too. So yeah, it's Anakin.
you're going Anakin. Okay. I'd like to be Mace Windu for the only reason being I want the purple lightsaber, and I feel like it's supposed to be only him. So
When I was a kid and I played the video games, he was my favorite just because he was the only one with the purple. But I didn't know any of the characters. I didn't know what I was doing.
Do you know why he has a purple lightsaber?
I just heard this story. Didn't he just ask?
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson just asked.
Yeah, George Lucas told him that he has a blue lightsaber, and he was like, "No, mine's going to be purple." He's like, "Well, no, the good guys have blue, and bad guys will have red. Maybe you could have a green one because that's a good guy color too." We have to make it real simple. And Samuel Jackson was like, no, I said mine is going to be purple. And he was like, I guess yours is going to be purple. And that's kind of it. He's like, no,
I love that.
That's happening. Yeah. So I like that for the backstory. So that's what I would do. Also, I rewatched The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know have you watched the new trilogy?
Yeah, not as good.
Not as good. I rewatched The Rise of Skywalker. This is like the final one, episode 9. And when you're in the theater, which is where I see Star Wars mostly, it's just fun and it's big and exciting. And oh my God, I'm really at a Star Wars movie and it's so massive and impressive. I watched that movie again. The plot, which is one of the more important parts of a movie, it's fucking nonsense. It's all over the joint. Though they go on a scavenger hunt to like 4 different planets to put together a map to get. They have to get the knife. The knife has the map, and the map only works in this other place. And they have to like decode it. It goes to other planet to decode it. And then they have to bring it over here. And every place that they go, they're like, here's them getting in the spaceship. Here's the spaceship going. Now here's them getting out of the spaceship. Do you get how they got here? I was getting a little frustrated.
I like Rhea though.
Ray, bro. Her name is Ray, like Romano.
Been a while. Not that long, because it was probably like last summer, but whatever.
Isn't it weird how they were like, no, you can't have a British accent. Like you have to have an American accent.
Yeah, they have aliens, but everybody's American.
Everybody, I mean, I think there are characters who have British accents, no? At least there's like, I don't know, like the big emperors have like that old speak.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, and then Ray, what's her name? Daisy Windrop was like, that's
Nope.
not her name. It was like Daisy.
It is Daisy.
We're gonna go Daisy Windrop because of Winn Dixie showed up and was like, "Hey, I have an accent." And they were like, "No, you do not. You speak American."
Daisy
here."
Ridley. There we go.
Daisy Ridley. All right, let's get a couple more here. All right, this one comes in from Bokes Magoo.
Hey, guy.
Yeah.
Good
His
question.
bio says socks first, tacos second. Love that. Bokes Magoo says, this past week I noticed that the all-you-can-eat section at Chase Field stopped serving food in the 7th inning stretch. Meanwhile, the beer sales were extended to the 8th inning to increase, quote, the fan experience. What are your thoughts on that? And should the all-you-can-eat sections be extended until the 8th inning as well? Love the show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Bokes Magoo. I'll tell you, brother, I don't know anything about all-you-can-eat sections. Is that a thing?
Don't think it is at Fenway, but that's the Diamondbacks park that we're referring to here. And to answer his question, sure. Extend that thing. It is weird to cut off food before drinks. That's a very valid argument. In fact, I don't know why you're cutting off food at all.
No reason. Why? Because you're cutting off drinks because you're like, well, you have to have an inning to sober up, right? Like that's the whole rationale there, I guess, for some fucking reason.
Which is now 6 minutes.
Yeah, makes no sense at all. At least when it was, before the pitch clock and it was the 7th inning, I guess you could be like, okay, that's an hour.
Yeah.
But now to make it the 8th inning and the sped up game, yeah, it makes no sense. Sell till the 9th. Nobody's driving into half of these parks anyway. But to stop serving food, like, why would you stop? It just other than to save money.
Yeah, that's just it.
Bullshit. Folks, I'm mad for you, dude. It's all you can eat. They should let you keep eating. They should let you stay after the game. Are you done yet? You know?
I'm with you.
You leave when you're done.
100%.
I mean, that doesn't sound like something Fenway would ever do. An all you can eat. I'm pretty sure the buffet in the Aura Club, you pay per plate. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like $55.
Oof.
Man. Actually, no, it must be all you can eat for $55.
I would think.
I would imagine. But that's not a section. That's like the premium seating club.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's cool though. I've always wanted to go to Chase. I want to sit in the pool.
I don't know. Can you just sit in the pool? But you get
Yeah, you can get pool tickets. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. They go
I
quick,
think
and
that'd be
they're expensive.
I think that'd be cool for like 2 innings, and then you'd be like, I don't really want to be in a pool for 3 hours. And
Well, you don't have to be in the
the rest of the
pool. You
area.
just
No, I know, but is the rest of the area like cool too, or
yeah. I mean, there's like beach chairs, like beachside chairs and like towel. I think there's like a little bar, like a private bar. It's like
I could be
you like rent
swayed.
it out for like 20 to 30 people.
Oh, that and back in. Is
Yeah,
it in
it's sweet.
center though?
It's in right center.
They always do that. They always put it in the outfield. The outfield's a terrible place to watch a game.
Well, I mean, where are you going to put it? Up high above home? Wait,
Second
did I?
deck behind home plate would be perfect.
That's unbelievable,
Infinity pool, right on the glass.
Scott.
Now we're
Scott.
cooking.
Now we're cooking with gas.
That I'd pay for. I'm not
That,
paying to sit in a pool 412 feet away from the home plate.
yeah, in a warehouse. That's the thing about Chase is like it's a warehouse that they play baseball in. It doesn't feel like a park from the outside at
Nope.
all. And even I would imagine it's one of those things where like when that ceiling's above you, you just kind of feel like, is this even baseball in here? It's
Yeah.
just basically, I don't know, an airport hangar or something. All right, let's do one more here. We got to get to another ad break here. Last one comes in from Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Noah DM. I just really want to know if Joey is still playing Overwatch or Fortnite. Side note, who do you think would be most likely to go pro in esports on this team? I'll start but with that answer and say I'm not really playing Overwatch these days. The MAGA meta kind of kicked me out for a bit there. I'm a support main, so I didn't really appreciate that. And now it's been a little bit since I've gotten in there, and then in the middle of a season, I just always feel like everybody's ahead of me, so I'll catch up at some point. But Fortnite, listen, Scott, I know you got a lot of free time. You're always telling me how
Nope.
much free time you got. Let's hop on the fort, bro. Hop in.
Okay, I have never been a Fortnite guy. Not even like when it was huge.
Oh, it's better now. Now everyone just drives cars. You
It's
just
better
shoot
than
each
like
other
when it
with
came out.
cars. Yes, it had been. This is actually like probably the worst season of Fortnite in a while. People are pretty upset about it because it's just all cars. You just drive cars and shoot out of cars and stuff. So people aren't really happy about that, but I like it. Secretly, I like it.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've never been a Fortnite guy at all. But maybe I'll kick the shit out of you in MLB The Show. That's what I'll do.
Dude, I literally have 806 career home runs. I am a 2042, the 2042 MVP again. My seventh
Yeah.
time getting it. Not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
On pace for my 10th Triple Crown. You're probably wondering, how are there years where you won the Triple Crown, didn't win MVP? Because the fucking league is rigged. That's how.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
To answer the question about the pro thing,
Mhm.
I think based on the answer you just gave, it's probably gonna be you.
Who on this
I
team,
don't
not
know
on the show, who on this team would be esports pro?
what team. Oh, the Red Sox.
The Boston Red Sox. Yeah. It's a Red Sox show.
I
It's a
thought he
Red
was
Sox show.
asking about. I thought he meant like us. Because I certainly wouldn't even. I wouldn't even have a game. I feel like we used to have so many guys open about video game stuff, and now I don't like hear about it at all.
Doesn't Cutter play?
Probably. I have no idea.
I
Who
think I
used to? I know
remember.
JD used to play with like half the team back in the day. It was like I remember he used to talk about getting on with people. Price obviously talked
Yeah.
about how he had to cut down because he was playing so much. But like the current roster, if you've heard that about Cutter, let's go with him, I guess. That's a good like on-field question. I feel like.
I think Josh Winkowski plays. Why do I feel like that's right? Do I feel like Josh Winkowski like does like Twitch streaming sometimes?
I feel like I would have heard about that.
I feel like that's true, but I can't be too sure. I also sneaky think Rob Refsnyder.
Yeah, that one, I don't know why I feel like that could be true. Although he's kind of older. He's kind of the oldest guy on the team, it feels like.
Yeah, it might be a bad pick. All right, well, that's going to do it for Slide in the DMs. Thank you, everybody, for those DMs. We should do that more.
Yeah.
It's fun to just talk about Star Wars and Fortnite and shit.
We should do it when I have Wi-Fi sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You should get Wi-Fi sometime. And
Okay.
you should get your butt into a seat, dude. NBA Finals are right here. They're in Boston, man. Boston, Mass. The friggin' the Celtics are in it. So get yourself a ticket with Game Time. The NBA Finals are here, and you guys know I'm a huge hoop head. Game Time makes getting NBA Finals tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. You guys already know my favorite part, and it's seeing the view from your seat. What a feature. You want to know what your view is going to look like? Boom, Game Time's got you. Game Time also offers all-in pricing to avoid any surprise fees, and with their lowest price guarantee, Game Time will credit 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA Finals tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, we are back just in time to empty our brain of thoughts with Joey and with Scott, and then probably get on out of here because it's how we end the show. Scott, your Wi-Fi, you here?
Oh, yeah, I'm so here. I haven't missed a beat.
I said it's time for me to end the show, dude. Anything?
No, I heard.
Say?
No, I heard that part. What? I don't have a thought today. But do you have a thought?
Oh, okay, folks. It is 4 games on the road against the worst team in Major League Baseball. Game 1 is going to be Jake Woodford versus Tanner Houck. Jake Woodford was recalled from AAA after Mike Clevenger went to the IL. I repeat, he is a AAA pitcher for the 15-49 Chicago White Sox. If the Red Sox do not win this game, I will throw up. And yes, I wrote this before. I did 20 minutes on throwing up earlier in this episode. Tanner Houck has a 1.85 ERA through 12 starts going into June, just like we all expected. Ha, ha, ha. I actually do have my preseason predictions right here. Do you want to hear them, Scott?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Tanner Houck will have a 1.85 ERA through 12 starts going into June. Oh my God. Am I the only one who saw this coming? Game 2 is going to be Garrett Crochet versus Cooper Criswell. Garrett versus Cooper. How funny is that?
Because we have a Garrett Cooper.
Because we have a guy named Garrett Cooper. Garrett Crochet has allowed 2 runs in 12 innings against the AL East this season. He throws 100. He leads the big leagues in K per 9 with 12. I double checked. Stunned to see that. I double checked. Cooper Criswell. Yeah, Cooper again. Remember Garrett versus Cooper. So that is pretty funny. How about that, huh? All right, Cooper Criswell brought that ERA back under 4 where it belongs with his 5 one-run innings against the Tigers, sitting at 392 right now, but he had been sitting at sub-3 before that brutal Orioles series, or that Orioles start, which I've decided, actually, I'm not going to count. Game 3 is Nick Nastrini, Nastrini versus Brian Bayo. Who's Nagini? Why does that name sound familiar?
Doesn't to me.
I think that's Voldemort's snake in Harry Potter.
Oh, man, I missed that. I was just going to say that.
All right. Nick Nagini was a Maledictus cursed to transform into a snake. Originating possibly in Indonesia by 1927, she was a performer at the Circus Arcanus, where she met Credence Barebone, also known as Aurelius Dumbledore, and had a romantic relationship with him. By then, she could transform into a snake at will, although her curse did often cause her to transform uncontrollably. By 1994, Nagini was seemingly trapped in snake form and belonged to Lord Voldemort, with whom she had a special bond, largely due to becoming a Horcrux after her master had killed Bertha Jorkins that same year. Do you think I'm done?
No.
After Voldemort's initial downfall, he used Nagini's venom as one of the ingredients for a potion to regain strength, which eventually led to his rebirth in 1995. Later the same year, she attacked Arthur Weasley, but he managed to survive. Game 4! Just kidding, during the Second Wizarding War, she had to be destroyed for Voldemort to finally be defeated. Nagini was killed by Neville Longbottom with Godric Gryffindor's sword in the 1998 Battle of Hogwarts, and was the last Horcrux to be destroyed after Rowena Ravenclaw's died out. Brian Bayo is whatever. Game 4 is Chris Flexen versus TBD. Chris Flexen comes in with a 5.19 ERA, but if you go back to the beginning of May, it's actually 5.24. So every pitch is hittable. His fastball goes 91. Dude sucks. And TBD returns to the Boston Red Sox. And it does not matter that this game is in Chicago. Expect a long standing ovation, folks. All is forgiven amongst the fans. We all can't wait to watch Tori Belinsky Dinkins do the damn thing again. Dude is back. And that is going to do it for your pitching preview.
I just want to say, I thought I was going to ask you if you had a close or empty. No, what do we? Scott and Joey thought, whatever the hell that's called, before
Yep.
I did the whole bit about the pitching preview, and you kind of cut me off. I know there are connection issues, but come on now.
Well, no, I was setting you up for it where I was like, hey, is there anything else you want to whatever? And then I was like, you know what would be funnier is going for it.
Could you, I mean, Nastrini, 0-5, 9.74 ERA. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, how does that happen? That's insane. Better win that by quite a bit.
I mean, that's why I didn't even give him the time of day. I gave 3 minutes instead to the snake from Harry Potter. So, simply not worth talking about.
Yeah.
Neither is Brian Bayo. That game 3 kind of sucks.
It's gone to that point.
Yeah. Game 3 sucks. And I mean, game 2 kind of stinks too. Was it game 2?
Game 4 is a bullpen game for us.
Yeah. Versus a guy with a 5.5 ERA.
Game 3 and 4 are bad. Game 2 is, well, that's a mismatch on their end. They got the talent on that one.
Yeah.
That's
and that
the
should
Garrett
be like
Cooper
a close
game.
one. But I mean, this is a series that they, in all actuality, like kind of need to sweep. A couple of big series coming up afterwards. If you want to have any semblance of momentum, like you can't be splitting with the fucking White Sox.
Yeah, it's either going to be 3 out of 4, but you really should kind of have to sweep.
Yeah.
If we're talking about trying to do anything with this season, which I don't really think we are, so I don't know why that even matters, but that should be a downer. But, you know, if they sweep, it's like, oh, they're 4 games up, so they'll lose the next 4.
Yeah. So you're just creating room for yourself to fall back.
Right.
But I don't know if they're going to do
ebbs and
something.
flows.
If they're going to do something, it would have to be soon. And this would be a good place to get it started. You know, Scott?
I talked about this. This is the stretch. Like, you're going to find out whether you're buyers or sellers from this point through June. Definitively. Because if you don't pull away here, you're not buyers, which means you're sellers.
2 years in a row now, I think the Sox have had great Junes. So,
yeah,
that's something. If you want to pull that up, I see you're typing. If you want to look at that, you can. If you at home want to look it up, you can too. If you don't want to bring it up. But I'm pretty sure the past 2 Junes, they've got like a 650 win percentage or something stupid. They just win in June, dude, and then they suck in July. It's what they do.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Oh,
July,
perfect.
it flipped that. So June 22, I remember they dominated. I think they won
Yeah.
like 22 games. I remember that specifically. But in 2023, they went 13 and 15. In July, they went 15 and 8.
Okay. So
So we're gonna have
you
a
pick
great
one.
August.
So you're saying that great June in 22, great July in 23, and we're due for a great August.
That's what I'm saying. After we trade away O'Neal, Pavetta, Kenley, Chris Martin, we're really gonna start to heat up.
O'Neal's back, by
Possibly
the way.
Jeff Passan threw out the idea of trading Brennan Bernardino, and I didn't like it, but I also get it.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you remember?
Can't-
I'll tell you the argument. I'll tell you the argument though. That's
Tell me
pretty.
the
That
argument.
he
What are you
didn't
going to get
use
in
it.
return for a reliever that's better than the reliever?
Oh well, I think you could get a prospect. Like you could get a hitting prospect. Like you get a
Okay.
second baseman, double A. Here's what I would say. Like if
He's
you
got a
look at
second
the
baseman for 5-6 years.
yeah, that's true, but it doesn't have to be a second base. He's and also we don't necessarily know that that's true. Though I still am Team Vaughn for now. You getting me off my point, Joey.
Sorry.
I only have 30 seconds before this thing cuts out again. Um, I think the John Schreiber arc was pretty damning. Of like people were like, I remember stats always being like in that really really good season. I think it was like 22, maybe 21. I remember when Schreiber was really good out of nowhere, and he was
Years
like,
too.
"What if you did trade him right now?" And everyone was like, "Well, no, that's crazy. He's multiple years team control. Well, you found a guy with that." And then you waited a couple. He was okay, and then you traded him for a prospect. He was whatever. If you traded Bernardino now, you're in a much better spot. I don't want to talk about that really, but he threw it out there. He even threw out
What
like
was
Slayton and Weissert.
the John Schreiber trade?
David Sandlin, straight up.
Yeah, Sandlin.
He's something like our 17th prospect or something, or maybe 12th.
He's 22 years old.
It was enticing at the time. Like I was kind of surprised we got him, but it hasn't worked out so far.
What's Schreiber up to?
He's been good. Unless he had I guess I don't want to definitively say that because he could have one bad
288
outing.
ERA in 27 games.
They sold
17
low on
Ks in
him.
25 innings.
David Sandlin is our 14th prospect now, but he has a 5.17 ERA. So my point is you sold low on him. And then he got good again. But
That's what they say to do with stocks.
Right. Exactly.
I know all about stocks.
I don't think we should trade him, but at the same time, if we did, I don't think I'd be like distraught.
I don't know if there's like 3 guys on this team that I'd be pissed off if they got rid of. You know?
Fair.
It's like everybody else, it's like, yeah, I get it. Whatever, you know? Like the past
probably
2
at
years,
10.
the list was long because the last 2 years I was like, no, they can still do it. They can still do it. And like, yeah, they're
I think
500
I
right
have
now. Like
at
they're not
least
out of it, but I don't know. I'm not getting there again.
I think I have at least 10. Can you hear me?
10 on the major league roster?
Yeah. Devers, Casas, Wong, Duran.
Wong? You wouldn't trade Wong?
No. He's hitting like 500. He's hitting like 500.
Yeah. Which is sustainable.
Helk, Cutter. He's done it for 2 years in a row. And he's playing good defense too. He's a catcher. He's an above average offensive catcher and above average defensive catcher. Why would you get rid of him?
Because Teal is going to be the first one ready. And
He's
Connor
better
Wong
than
is very
I think
good.
Teal will be. And you need 2 catchers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got then Hal Crawford. It'd be Wilyer. Definitely Wilyer.
Yeah, Wilyer. Forgot about Wilyer.
Well, I don't know what I'm at right now.
I don't either. I stopped counting.
Right. Awesome.
6,
Okay,
7.
I know that's less than that. Yeah, it's less than 10, but those are definitive. I'm sure if I looked at the roster, I mean Bayo, I wouldn't. I'm not at the point where I want him gone.
No.
Grissom would be like upsetting for different. No, I don't care. No, I lied. I don't care about that. I thought about it for a second. I let it sit for a second.
Like, I don't mean like guys that would be dumb to trade. I mean guys that you'd be like genuinely upset over being gone. Like,
I think all of those guys I'd be upset about. I wouldn't be like there's different tiers in that list, you know, like if they traded like Wong, I wouldn't like. No, I mean he's good. He's really good.
I like Connor Wong.
That's my list. I think that's my everything I said. I think that's my list. Rafaela is like fringe, but I wouldn't be heartbroken, just because potential.
I think it's also I've just been Pavlovian trained to not get attached right now. You know, even when guys get extended, I'm like, I don't know, could still be gone tomorrow.
That's very true.
Do you got any other thoughts? Or those are your thoughts?
Should we just do a prediction real quick?
Oh yeah. I think they take 3 out of 4.
I agree.
Which one do they lose?
Game 2.
Yeah.
Garrett Cooper game.
Yep. The Garrett Cooper game. I would love to have a Garrett Cooper game, like the Pablo Reyes game. I would love like a game.
Can you imagine if he did it, like if he popped 2 home runs in that game?
Whoa. That would be like a TikTok 4 years from now. You know, that's
Yeah.
like.
You're not going to believe.
The pitchers' names were Garrett and Cooper.
Yeah.
Did the stars really align for Garrett Cooper to have the best game of his career? Let me know down in the comments.
Wow. You really did nail that.
I worked for Lumberland, dude. That's what I did. I did those voiceovers.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah, all the time. Miguel Cabrera had the funniest DUI of all time.
Wow.
You won't believe what Miguel Cabrera told this cop to do to him.
Just effing shoot me.
Fucking kill me. You don't know who I am. I know who you are. I know all of you. I will bomb this place.
That was maybe the greatest switch up of all time.
That segue or those moments? That the moment where he was like I will bomb you.
He went from kill me to I have a bomb and I'm going to kill you. He went to shoot me in the face to if you touch me, I'm going to blow this place up. That was a big switch up.
I love an empty bomb threat to the police.
I like to think with his amount of alcohol in the body that he thought he could, like, he convinced himself that he had a bomb in that moment.
That he could just do it? Like, he could just will the place to explode?
I think he was just like, I got an idea, and I'm going to, like, didn't really think about the execution.
I got an idea. I'll blow this place up.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Miss you, Miggy. All right. A couple other little thoughts here. Devers hits any ball anywhere. You can't hide from him. You can throw it in the dirt. He will hit an opposite field homer. It just doesn't make any sense. He'll swing at things, and I'm like, why are you swinging at that? And he'll make contact, and I'm like, there's a foul ball. There's just another strike that you didn't need to take, Raffy. And then the camera cuts, and it's on Lansdowne. So that's Banana Lance. What a hitter.
Oh, Banana Land. Funny.
The Bananas. Nick York was promoted to AAA mid-game, which I thought was like kind of weird to have that news break middle of the game. Not that it matters, and because they're they operate entirely separately, but it's just kind of a thing to be like, whoa, that happened like in the middle of the game. What? I already mentioned this. The first team shot of the Braves since May of 2023. Last thing, I guess this is kind of more of a closing thought, so I'll ask you first. You got a closing thought?
Nope.
Perfect. Savannah Bananas are this Saturday, Fenway Park, June 8th. Come on down. It's kind of hard to get tickets. If you check the Game Time app, I bet they got a few. And actually, let me check. Let me see. Because, you got that code CLNS. You can get in. You can get some money off your first ticket. Terms apply, obviously. But you can check it out here. Let me go to the Game Time app. It's so easy to navigate this thing. Party Animals at Bananas. That's kind of funny.
Ooh,
that's listed like that.
I do have a minor closing thought after you now.
You can get in for $120.
That's much lower than it was a week, 2 weeks ago. It was like 4 something, not that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you
which is
can. I
kind of
mean,
the
they're
whole thing that
bleacher
Game Time
seats.
promotes.
Yeah, and this is the all-in price too. No surprise
Yeah.
fees, all that stuff. So yeah, 120, 130, 140. Oh, you can get into the loge for 140, the grandstands for 140, to the field boxes for 180. This is like these are pretty. Dude, there is okay. I'm gonna say this now. I do not know if these will still be here.
Mhm.
There are monster seats for 240.
That's crazy. We're getting in for free. I would consider locking those up just to be able to do that.
Yeah, look, it's the top ones here. Can you see that?
Well, now I can see it clearly, but it's too far away. Now I got you. Yep.
The top one.
Wow.
Monster
Dude,
seats
they were like
240.
not long ago. They were like $500 for like anywhere,
Yeah,
like outfield.
that's nuts. So
Um,
yeah, check the Game Time app. Get yourself into Savannah Bananas at Fenway Park.
I had a weird moment. I got a haircut. Thanks for noticing, by the way. Thanks for saying something.
Oh yeah, it
I've
looks
only been
the
here for an
same.
hour and 9 minutes. Yep. Thank you.
Mhm.
And the guy in the chair next to me, I don't know if I think he was talking about the NBA Finals. He
Mhm.
mentioned like something about getting tickets in the Game Time app. And
Oh
like
yeah.
about like looking for tickets, but he weirdly name dropped the app, which I feel like you wouldn't normally just be like, "Hey, I was looking at tickets," or like he specifically was like, "Yeah, I'm looking at tickets on the Game Time app," and I was just like, I looked at him and I was like, "Am I about to be like, yo, use the code?" And I didn't because I was like, "That's crazy." We're in real
Did
life.
you think that he was about to be like, "Hey, thanks for the promo code"? Did you think he was like a
No, no,
listener?
no. I didn't think he
Oh.
recognized me at all. I thought it was crazy that he like dropped the app and didn't just say like I was getting tickets. I'm thinking about getting tickets because like
Mhm.
that's just a strange human. Like we're not doing an ad read. We're in real life. And then, but I did almost like want to be like, hey, if you use this code, you get $20 off. But then I wasn't. He didn't say it to me, you know. And
Terms apply.
also, I was like, come on. I mean, like I just got scared, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
should have.
planted that guy, just so you know.
I could have saved that guy
I
$20, and I decided not to. Terms apply.
it's your first purchase, so if he's a Game Time pro, he probably has made some
Sure,
purchases on there
it's
before.
possible. It's
Dude,
possible.
I went to Burger King the other night. I was driving.
Shocker.
I
Nobody
almost
say
forgot to.
shocker.
Dude, well, you're about to hear the you don't need to be mean to me because the guy at the drive-thru was. That's called a spoiler. It's a teaser. We're gonna Tarantino this. Um, dude. So Seb falls asleep in the backseat of the car, right? Like it's easier to drive him around and get him to fall asleep that way, right? So we do that sometimes. Drive around, he falls asleep. I'm perusing the city, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself a milkshake, so I'm gonna swing by Burger King. So I get a vanilla shake, and I see they have a Hershey's pie, like a little pie slice. So I grab one of those too, and I get up to the window, and the guy he walks up to the window and he looks at me, and then he looks down and he goes, "I was gonna say something, but you don't look like you're in the mood." And it's like I don't know. We're starting our interaction by him saying like, "You look pissed off." Like I don't know, dude. It's 9:30. I'm at Burger King. I'm not too pleased with myself. Like I don't know. I think I look friendly enough.
Self-loathing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm putting on a customer service face, and
Mm.
I went, no, no, say it. What were you gonna say? And he goes, I was gonna say, here's your diabetes, and then hands me the milkshake and the thing.
I love that whole interaction. I love the idea of just being like, "Hey, I was gonna make a joke about you, but you're gonna hate it." And then,
Yeah,
all
and I
right,
was like, yeah, you're right.
here's my zinger.
It's not even over, Scott, because then so I try to save it, and I go, oh come on, haha, just a late night treat, long day, figured, hey, you know what, I'll treat myself a little late night snack. And he's quiet for about 10 seconds as he's like swiping my card. And he looks up at me and he goes, you do know that's how diabetes starts, though, right? Like late night sugar.
Is he
And
like
I was,
a undercover Burger King guy trying to cut out diabetes? Like, did he work there to be like, "You guys gotta stop"? Like, he's trying to cut it at the source?
it felt like he was like really looking out for my health. I was like, fuck off, bro. I'm also not God bless our service workers. I'm not going to take medical advice from a guy wearing a Burger King visor. I'm just not gonna. So I was like, don't give me medical. Scott,
What kind of shape was this fella in?
doughy, little
Okay, see
dope.
that's the
Like
thing. That would
like when
piss
I
me
was at
off.
my doughy, like when I was at my doughy level, like around that.
If he was like a guy that looks like he worked at a gym also part-time, I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. But I'd be furious if someone bigger than me was telling me to cut the sugar. I'd be like, okay, you look at you, pal.
And so after he
You
goes,
first.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, this guy's not the epitome of health talking to me. This is not Achilles himself looking at me and
Yeah.
telling me how to live. He just goes like, you do know that is how diabetes starts, though, right? Late night sugar. And I was like, got to treat yourself every once in a while. Haha. And I take the card back and I go, hey, man, you have a good night. And he goes, throomp, and shuts the window and walks away. Not a fucking word.
I love that he called out your demeanor as well. That
Yeah.
that reminds me yesterday when I did go get food, we sat down and the waiter did like like he there was the MLB Network channel in front of us, and like
Mhm.
I want to watch the Red Sox, and I hate being that guy, so I was gonna be like, hey, I hate to be a pain, but can you switch that? And I couldn't do it I was also the only person like in this visible section, like we were the only two, so it wouldn't have
Mhm.
mattered. And I went up to he went up to us and he just goes he goes, hey, and then ah, so frozen. Give him a second to load, dear.
You back?
Back. Yep.
It's
He said
it's
anyway.
yeah,
Where
yep,
did
keep
I
going.
leave off? Who gives? I mean, the story isn't worth
Keep
it. This
going.
is why I was gonna say no closing thought. All right. Waiter went up to me, and you know how they're like, "Hey, can I get you started with anything?"
Yeah.
He just went up to me, and he just said, "Hey," and then he stopped, and we were like, "Hey," and then he was like,
Hi.
"You guys want anything?" There was so many pauses, and we were just like, "Wait." Every waiter does this the same at every single place I've ever been to, and he literally just went, "Hey," and then he stopped, and we
Yep.
both like, "Excuse me?" And
Yeah,
then
you show up with a monologue. You say, "Hey, my name is blah blah blah. Be taking care of you. Can I
right,
get you
didn't
guys
do
started
that.
with anything?"
Just said hey. Just said hey, paused for like 5 seconds. We both were like, what the hell is happening right now? He's every single time it was like I was like, yeah, like, just get water. And it's like he just kind of like I don't know, he just looked like he didn't want to serve us. And then second time he comes around, he starts talking a little more, and I realized he had like an accent, and I think that was it. But
Uh, oh.
it was
So you're an
still.
asshole. Is the moral of the story? You're the
Yeah,
asshole.
but my
Way to
point
go.
is that really threw me off. When he just hit me with a hey and then stopped and just
I I have no excuse for my guy. My guy was just
yeah,
a
he just
crazy
sucked.
person. Yeah, he just sucked. So if you go to the
But I
Manchester
like those
Burger King,
interactions.
I do
Oh
too. Oh, I live for that. That's why I always have a gas station story when I'm on here.
yeah, true.
I called something by the wrong name at the gas station the other day, and the guy thought it was the funniest fucking thing he'd ever heard. And he went on and on laughing the entire interaction. And I faked it with him for like 5-10 seconds. But then I
And
was
then you
like,
were
okay,
done.
I'm done here. And I'm like going to use my car, and he keeps laughing, and I'm giving him the eyes that are like, "Are you still laughing? You still laughing, huh?" And that was the funniest fucking thing he'd ever heard. That I called this by the wrong name. Anyway,
Ended strong.
that's ITM, guys. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can follow the show at ITM_pod on the socials. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46, like Brad Keller.
No.
And Jacoby Ellsbury. And we will be back after this Bananas game. We'll have some Bananas content for you guys. We're credentialed for the Bananas game, so we're going to be getting some fun stuff for that. So stay tuned for that. We don't even know what we're getting. We'll figure it out on the fly. Here's
Nope.
this. If you're still listening, hit us with some DMs of stuff you want us to do with the Bananas. Maybe we'll do it because we're just going. We're just going. We got camera crew coming with us, and we're like, we don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. So, I don't know. to DM us. We might do it. Maybe we'll get some royalties. But we will see you guys after this Sox v Sox 4-gamer. For Scott Neville, I am Joey Copponi. Thank you to Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network, and to Game Time, the best place to buy tickets online to sports concerts, all your favorite events, best prices guaranteed. Go Sox, kid.